Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of Tech Stuffing, where we talk about technology, video games, and other cool things that we find. I'm Jarrett, your host, and joining me today all the way from the West Coast, our video game enthusiast, Chris.
Hey.
Yep, that music is still cool. I am not tired of it yet.
You don't have to say that every time.
Dude, I'm going to say it every time. Maybe not every time. Cool. Yeah, until it's not cool, and then we'll find different music.
Okay.
I don't know. So what's up, man? You getting anything cool this week?
No, we just had some heat earlier this week, and it went away, which makes me happy.
Yeah, does it get hot over there? Like I can't imagine it getting very warm.
It gets over 100 in the summer. This doesn't have the humidity that you do.
Oh, interesting.
It's very dry heat.
Yeah, it was like 98 degrees and 100% humidity here last weekend. So,
no, it got up at about 90 earlier this week, and we don't have air conditioning.
Yes, and I apologize for our weather talk that we just had. It's like the worst.
You asked.
I know. I shouldn't have. I don't know. I'm tired. All right. Well, I just want to say hello and welcome and thanks for everybody listening right now. I guess we'll go ahead and get the show started and save you from the boring weather talk.
Please.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's on the agenda tonight. We got some Fox and Disney news, more Star Wars news, some good, some bad, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. Of course, we got to get the old Elon Musk news in there and some smartwatch news. And then we'll go ahead and skip on over to video games where we talk about Bethesda, Ubisoft, PlayStation, essentially the rest of E3's coverage. So I guess we'll go ahead and kick it off. So Fox and Disney finally reached an agreement. So I don't know if anybody's been following this in the news.
Is it
so
final?
Essentially, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sorry.
So essentially, Disney put a bid in to buy Fox like last week or something for like $65 billion or $60 billion. And then Comcast came back and said, oh, yeah, well, we're going to pay you $65 billion and it's going to be all cash. I think Disney's original offer was only stock. And Disney's like, well, we're not going to have any of that. So let's come back and offer $71.3 billion. And I believe Fox agreed to that term. So this is going to be crazy. Disney is going to buy Fox, it looks like. So it's not all cash like Comcast is offering. I believe it's half and half. So like 30-some billion in cash and 30-some billion in stock. But yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this. I like the fact that Disney's now going to have the rights to X-Men, Deadpool, Planet of the Apes, Ice Age, all the stuff Fox had, The Simpsons, all this stuff on their FX network. So that could be cool. On the other hand, I'm not sure if I like Fox or Disney owning all this stuff. They've kind of got a monopoly on all this. I don't know. What do you think, man?
It's good, but this is how the companies are going now. Instead of having a monopoly over one thing, they just have their hand in everything. I mean, look at Google. What was it? AT&T buying out Time Warner Cable. They're just grabbing everything. Not necessarily just one thing, which monopoly was, the antitrust were to prevent against you owning one particular market. Now they just have their hand in every market. And then they're hard to compete against in that per se because, they're that powerful. But it's almost like we're ending up now with just a couple of just giant corporations that cover a broad amount of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to turn down $71.3 billion.
I could have the all cash. I'm like, what does $65 billion in all cash look like?
I know, right? Where do they just drive up in a giant truck full of like $100 bills? Like, I don't know. I know that's not how it actually works, but that would be cool if it was.
It would, because it'd probably take a couple of trucks, especially if you're doing $1 bill denominations.
That'd be a little ridiculous.
Yes. I'm excited for it though, because they've done well with Marvel. I'd like to see what they could do when they get Deadpool and X-Men and the potential. I know a lot of nerds are probably super excited about bringing all the comic book universes into basically one network.
Yeah, I kind of foresee some X-Men Avengers crossover, at least some Deadpool X-Men crossover. Now that they'll own the X-Men, so they don't just have the B-rated characters in the Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
they'll all be able to go in there. But yeah, this is. I mean, it's also kind of good for their streaming service too. I guess it might not be good for Comcast, or it might not be good for Netflix and Hulu, but now since they got Fox, they'll be able to put all this Fox stuff on their streaming service, and that probably was one of their main goals in doing this, to help push their streaming. Because if you've got all the Fox shows plus all the Disney and Marvel and Star Wars, I mean, you've got my money.
yeah.
I'm gonna buy your service for sure.
Well, the interesting thing is that right now Comcast, Disney, and Fox each have about 30% of Hulu stock. If they buy Fox, they will have the controlling interest in Hulu.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, so they may just use that as their streaming service. If they control Hulu, though, if they want to release their own, I mean, at that point, do you want to push your own streaming service? If you already own the controlling interest in Hulu, do you just want to push your interest there?
Yeah, what if they're just fold Disney into Hulu essentially, and get rid of Hulu and call it Disney or something, or Disney streaming, or Disney Cast, or whatever they want to call it.
Yes, any of those they could choose from.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm curious about that. I think it opens a lot of possibilities. It is always scary to me when there's that a company can buy something for $71 billion. Like, you have that much money just lying around that you can pick up another company. I mean, how's other companies supposed to succeed? It's even like we were talking about Microsoft the other day. Like, they had a bunch of game studios making games for them, and they liked it, so they just said, "Fine, we'll just buy your studio," and just picked up 5 studios because they just could.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to make for some good movies. Maybe Disney will actually be able to put out a decent Fantastic Four movie.
Maybe. I never saw the most recent one. I heard it got less than stellar reviews.
I haven't either. I've kind of, it's like soured the taste for those movies. So even if Disney makes one, I might not even go see it, just because I don't know. I don't want to see a bad Fantastic Four movie. It's hard as wasting my money on those movies.
True.
But yeah, so Disney's getting bigger. But I mean, if you think about all the movies that Disney puts out now, I mean, Avengers, Star Wars, now X-Men, Deadpool, these are all billion-dollar movies. I mean, they're going to make their money back.
Yeah, but I like it better that Disney's getting it than Comcast. Disney already is in this market. They're already making movies and stuff. It's something they can very easily incorporate, while Comcast provides internet service
and cable. Yeah, so I agree. Like, if I had to pick the two, I'd want Disney to get this, because they're going to make good movies and TV shows out of it. If Comcast got it, I feel like they would just turn X-Men into like a serialized TV show or something.
I'd be afraid that they would put it on Comcast stuff only. Like, only if you have Comcast can you get to see these X-Men stuff.
Oh yeah, or make their own streaming service like a CBS.
Yeah, we would have another one. It's like, no.
Yeah,
I know you want to get your hand in a little money pot, but no, I like mine. Just keep it how it is.
Yeah, it is getting kind of ridiculous now with the streaming services. Like, if you were to buy them all, like, I thought, back, cutting the cable was supposed to be cheaper, but now you cut the cable, then you pay $15 a month for Netflix, or 13 or 10, whatever it is, and then $10 for Hulu, and then $10 for HBO Go, and then $10 for your music, and it's like that. All these stuff adds up,
Yeah, it's still, I think, overall cheaper. I remember hearing, people paying $60, $100, $120 for cable packages.
Yeah,
which is much higher than. And some people only want to do one. Like, they just have Netflix, and there's enough content on any one of these streaming sites to keep people occupied.
That's true. Yeah,
it's just more so your preference. And you can always switch between them too. It's $10. It's like, all right, I'll stop you this month. I'll switch to Hulu for $10, and I'll binge a bunch of Hulu stuff, and then go back.
Yeah, that is one good thing. They do make it easy to cancel and reinitiate these services.
Subscribe.
Because I remember when I had Sirius satellite radio and I didn't want it anymore. You can't just go to the website and cancel it. You have to call them and talk to the retention specialist, and it's a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just making it as complicated as possible to hope that you get lazy and don't cancel your service.
What I did though, I fooled them.
Oh yeah,
So my credit card just expired, and I never put my new one in.
you showed them.
I showed them my passive aggressiveness.
Yes, the ultimate lazy cancel.
Yes, definitely. I don't know, man. Uh, but yeah, so Disney owns all this stuff now, including Star Wars. So we also have Star Wars news.
Yeah, you had very little last time. Has more happened?
Yes, more has happened. So in just like the last like 2 days, um, it's been an up and down roller coaster. I feel like when it comes to Star Wars news. So
If you're really into that,
yeah, if you care about Star Wars, I mean, it's just like
continue.
this little show that some people watch. I don't know. So apparently, there was an article or a Collider essentially put out this report stating that an anonymous source with knowledge of the situation in Lucasfilm essentially says, in the wake of the Star Wars or the Solo movie, in the wake of their performance, Disney has decided to kind of put the standalone movies, either cancel them or put them on hold while they concentrate on the bigger movie like Episode 9. So that sucks. However, like literally 24 hours later, it may not actually be that bad. So Lucasfilm came out and gave some ambiguous statement to ABC News, essentially saying there's still more Star Wars films currently in development that have not been officially announced. So I don't know what this means. No one knows what it means. There's like news coming from one side saying that they're going to take a break. There's news from Lucasfilm or Disney saying we're really not. We're still got films in development. I don't know what to think of it. So nothing really has been, uh,
Concrete.
set in set in stone, exactly, concrete. So there's rumored Obi-Wan Kenobi film. There's rumored Boba Fett film, but I don't think we need those films. So I'm not too upset about the standalone movie, especially the Boba Fett film. I'm gonna come out and say something very controversial. I don't like Boba Fett. I think he's overrated. He's just a bounty hunter. Whatever. I don't think he needs his own film. You pretty much got his whole life story from the prequels. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else there's to say. So, I mean, I guess it could be cool if you see how he does his bounty hunting.
Origin story of how he became a bounty hunter.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess
That's what
I just feel
kind of like Solo. It's just the origin story.
yeah. I don't think they need to be doing any more of these origin stories. I feel like there's enough canon there, and there's to move the franchise forward. They need to think outside of the timeline that's already been set forth. They need to kind of move forward, go to the future. We already know the result of all these origin stories. We know the ending. We don't want to know the ending anymore. We want a new storyline. So hopefully that's what's going to happen.
But if they keep making money, like they said, it's like after the performance of Solo, where it did do good, it did make money. The question is, did it make enough that they want to continue doing origin stories, or do they may want to put Episode 9 out and see, okay, this was, as you say, in the future, new content. How does that do in comparison?
Yeah, I think it'll be
maybe
better.
they'll go in that route instead, because Solo did okay. I don't think it did great.
No, it barely broke even. It was like a $200 million film, and I think they made just over $200 million so far.
So so that's not, Star Wars is supposed to be Star Wars. So in big name, big profit, and Solo didn't deliver that. So they may want to see what 9 does, and then go from there. Like they said, it's like we want to focus on that first, make sure they do a good job on that one, and see if it makes the big profit again before they decide if they want to start doing more ventures on the side, or like you said, continue into the future of Star Wars with new content.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air. So I think these two articles prove that no one really exactly knows what's going on. We do know that there's Episode 9 coming out. We know that J.J. Abrams, or not J.J. Is it J.J. Abrams? He's got his standalone film It wasn't J.J. Abrams. Why did I say J.J. Abrams? Why can't I think about this right now?
I'm just curious that you said his
Ryan
name
Johnson.
6 times in the last 2
Yeah,
sentences.
sorry. I don't know why I got
J.J.
that.
Abrams. J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams.
Ryan Johnson's trilogy is coming out as well. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I want some new content. These origin stories are kind of cool, but
patience.
I know.
Patience. You get.
I hope episode 9 is good.
Did you like episode 8?
Yeah, I did. It was, a lot of people didn't like it, and it was not my favorite Star Wars movie. There was some things in there I didn't like, but for the most part, I thought it was a good movie. Some people, spoilers, by the way, I will go ahead and talk about it. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. It's been out for almost a year, almost not half a year, 6 months.
Billion.
Anyway, so spoilers. Yeah, so some of those parts, like when Princess Leia used the Force to kind of Mary Poppins her way back into the ship.
Yeah.
While the scene itself looked funny, it wasn't out. It wasn't outside the realm of the Force. I mean, if
it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I mean, if you can use you are in space, so you're weightless, and if you can use the Force to attract things to you, why couldn't you just attract yourself to the bigger thing? I don't know. It's physics. I don't know. But that was just a little thing. There's other things that I did not like, but there's a lot of stuff that I did like. I mean, the opening scene, the opening bomb run scene was like one of the greatest space bomb run battles ever. I mean, I don't know. It was cool. I kind of want to go watch the movie again right now.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Star Wars fanatic, so,
And the end of the movie, when Luke Skywalker does like the most passive, badass Jedi Force cast himself across the galaxy thing. Yeah. I know a lot of people did not actually like that, but I thought that was super cool. I don't know.
He beat somebody and he was on another planet. Like, yes.
It's pretty. It's probably the most Jedi thing he's ever done, because he's not. The Jedi are supposed to be for good, and they're not supposed to avoid a fight at all costs, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, he projected himself so he wouldn't actually have to fight. I don't know. It was good. We kind of got off topic here. What were we talking about?
Just Star Wars in general. I think we covered most of the news that isn't news but could be news, but we're not sure if it's news.
Yeah. So the movies that are actually planned. So we've got episode 9 coming out. So we're hoping that's going to be good. I'm sure it will. Then we have Ryan Johnson's Untitled trilogy coming out. I don't think there's much on that other than he got permission to write some movies. I don't think there's a timeline or who's going to be involved, or I don't believe it's going to be in the same field or in the same line as the Skywalker timeline, which is good. So new content, same universe, different content. And then we have David Benoff and D.B. Weiss, their movie series. We don't know anything about this at all. So I guess it was announced in February of this year. So they're the producers that spearheaded Game of Thrones. So they're going to be working on Star Wars film. And I think they're not going to start work until Game of Thrones is over, and that's over like in 2019. So don't expect anything soon. And then I think we have I think there's an animated Star Wars TV show coming out, Star Wars Resistance. So it looks cool, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have to see some more about it when it comes out. So it's like an anime almost looking Star Wars animated series. So it should be interesting. Yeah, I'll give it a look. I think that's about it. Oh, I think there's a Jon Favreau. He has a live action series. It's supposed to come out sometime in 2019, maybe. So I don't know how a serialized TV show would do, a live action series, but that should be interesting. I don't know. I hope they just don't, just like they are with Marvel. I hope they don't kill us with content. No,
hopefully not.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I'll buy it. They're going to get my money. So what can I say? I don't know. But yeah.
Is there anything else going on in the tech world other than Star Wars today?
No, Star Wars is in it. No, I'm just kidding. No, so yeah, so Elon Musk, SpaceX, his SpaceX is back in the news. So he won a U.S. Air Force contract, about $130 million contract, so a fairly large one, to essentially use his Falcon Heavy rocket to launch the Air Force's upcoming Space Command 52 satellite. I couldn't find any information on what that actually entails. Like, what is this 52 satellite? It's probably classified, so I don't know.
I'm sure you're not going to find like details of what it does. And
if it's like communications, imagery, I don't know, but it doesn't really say. Probably some kind of communications
satellites.
Some kind of military satellite. Yeah. So that launch is supposed to happen in 2020. So a little bit of time, but the Falcon Heavy, if you guys don't remember, was the rocket that Elon Musk used to launch his own car into space. Because why not?
Because he'll never get it back.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it was kind of a cool. He has a publicity stunt, obviously, but it was kind of a cool way to get people to kind of focus on SpaceX. So NASA does this all the time to test their rockets. They need a payload to put in there to test the rocket. So they usually just fill it up with concrete or something very heavy. But SpaceX decided to do this cool thing where they put a car in space. I mean, why not? I think it's going to just float around in space. I think they missed the intended orbit, but it might land close to Mars or fly close to Mars. But yeah, so good for SpaceX.
Yes.
More commercial space. And also, so I know we talked about the flamethrower. So 2 episodes. Our first episode. Here's just an interesting article from The Verge. You guys should check it out. Just go, if you Google it, The Verge not a flamethrower. There's a video there that actually shows the flamethrower in action, and I didn't expect very much, but I'm a little disappointed on the length of the flame this thing shoots out.
I thought too. I was like, it's kind of whippy, but for the simplicity of the gun itself, like I was expecting, something super bulky or something, and it's not. So
yeah, it's a relatively
small. He could design a more powerful one, but this is for home use.
Yeah,
this is super long flame length around the house for your everyday activities.
Grab your home use flamethrower.
Yeah, cook your steaks. I mean, you don't need a 7-foot spread if you're cooking a steak. Yeah, a nice steady 1 to 2 foot stream will be enough to accomplish all your needs.
Yeah, sure. So it's about the size of a large Nerf gun, and the flame comes out maybe 3 feet, maybe. And I'm sure there's
maybe two.
Yeah, 2 or 3 feet. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably some kind of law that keeps you from actually making the kind of flamethrower that shoots out like a gas, oil, napalm like mix 20 feet in front of you.
Yes.
But yeah, this just looks like I think you can buy these kind of similar flame looking things at like Home Depot or Lowe's that use for like a roofing, I think, to help melt the tar or something. It's just in a cooler case. But
yeah, it's a novelty thing.
So if you want to sear your steak or make awesome marshmallows, I mean, I can only imagine if you bring this thing camping, like who wants marshmallows? And then it's just a flamethrower.
Not a flamethrower. Okay. Did you guys remember to pack the flamethrower?
Right. Yeah, I still kind of want one. Maybe I'll 3D print one and make my own. It doesn't seem like it's that hard. I'm sure there's probably already plans out there.
It's just a neat novelty thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
Elon Musk having fun.
Yeah. Speaking of novelties, I don't know if did you hear about the Pebble smartwatch?
I did not. I don't know. Never even heard of Pebble smartwatch until you told me about it.
Yeah, so Pebble Smartwatch was a small startup that got fairly big, and in my opinion, they had the best smartwatch on the market. So it was mainly a watch before it was a smartwatch, which I liked. It used one of those e-paper screens, so the battery actually lasted like a week, which was awesome. I charged it like once a week. I got notifications on it. It could to track your sleep and count your steps and all the fancy stuff, but it was essentially a watch that could give you a few extra features. I loved my Pebble. And then Fitbit came along and said, we want to buy your company because you're failing. So essentially Fitbit bought Pebble.
Were they failing?
Yeah, they were. So they had a couple of, essentially their business model was to use Kickstarter as a way to get investments for these new lines of products. So they would, launch these Kickstarters. They weren't doing that great when it came to money. They were just kind of bleeding cash left and right. So it wasn't. They laid off a bunch of people. It wasn't looking good for them. So Fitbit bought them, essentially shutting down Pebble, which stinks because I like the watch. But whatever. What could you do? But luckily, this company called Rebel has kind of popped up since about 2016, I think is when they bought them. But what they're doing is essentially promoting an unofficial replacement system that's meant to keep the majority of Pebble's internet connected functions alive. So if you have a Pebble watch, you'll still be able to use it, hopefully. So the plan is to save the Pebble watches. Mostly, it relies on hosting its own servers. The only bad part about that is there could be some loss of functions, and there also could be a small cost involved in using their servers. So that stinks. I don't know. I still have my Pebble, and I might try this out just because I like the watch a lot. But we shall see. I mean, I'm hoping that there'll be another company that makes a watch similar to this. When I have a watch, I don't want to charge it every night like my phone. I liked being able to have a watch and not have to charge it for a week. And the new smartwatches are, you got to charge them like every night or like twice a day, depending on how much you use it. It's a little ridiculous.
It's going to get to the point I'm going to need like this magic stand that can charge my tablet, my phone, my Fitbit, my, I don't know. I don't know what's going to come in the future.
Enter Apple, because I think what they're trying to do is essentially that. So make this, they already have charging pads that you can charge your phone on, but I think they're trying to make like a mat, that you can just go home and drop
all your devices.
Yeah, your watch or your phone or whatever other device needs to be charged that's from Apple, your earbuds, and just charge it all up. So I think their next move is probably I think I saw an article about them trying to essentially they wanted to get rid of the charging port altogether, so the phone is essentially completely sealed. So no,
that would be pretty cool.
It would, but I still like my headphone jack. I'm still holding on to that. I think I'm like one of the last few that has to hold on to it. I like being able to not have to worry about keeping something charged if I want to listen to music at night. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think there's a couple of us still left.
Well, yeah. I mean, the other argument we would always argue you could jack it into a set of speakers and play music that way or whatever. But phone sound systems are getting better every day on that account too, where you can just send it to your Alexa or whatever various automated dot thing you have.
Yeah, I'm horrible at charging stuff. And the last thing I want to do is like, oh crap, I got to go for a trip. I get on the airplane and my headphones aren't charged up and now I can't listen to music. I mean, I know
that's why you get the power bank thingies.
Yeah, I know. And I know they have adapters that are charged, that you plug into the bottom that, allow you to plug into your headphone. But the last thing I want is another adapter or dongle or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Save the headphone jack.
The power, what do they call it? Is it called a power bank? That's not what it's called.
Yeah, like the extra batteries?
Nah, it's just an extra battery pack that holds like so much charge. Man, I traveled a lot last year and man, it was the best investment I made.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to worry about in the airport to do this, just, like you said, you're going on a plane here. I got a half hour before the plane ride. I'll just plug it in and let it charge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
it eliminates a lot of that annoyance that you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody just needs to invent wireless charging that actually works on a cell phone, essentially a cell phone signal. So anywhere you go, your device is always charging.
Well, until that happens, get yourself
right.
one of those.
It's probably going to all give us cancer at the same time, but whatever.
Yeah.
But cool. All right, we're already 30 minutes in here. Let's go ahead and skip to some video game news. But first, let's play some transition music. Yeah, video game news.
On the third season of Stranger Things.
I know, that's exactly what it sounds like. I don't know. We're still working out the music situation, so bear with us. But so what do we got, man?
We'll start with Bethesda's the big one.
Bethesda.
Probably one of the most. It's one of the biggest ones nowadays that have released such. Elder Scrolls and the Fallout series have been huge, especially on PC.
Elder Scrolls is how old is that game now, though?
Like
That's got to
from
be like 5 years,
90.
there, right? Skyrim.
Oh,
I'm not talking about
I thought you were
Skyrim.
talking about the whole series. I'm like
No, no,
Elder
no, no, no. Like the Skyrim. That's probably, I don't know, 5 years maybe.
at least, and there's still tons of people who play it. It's like a great game, great longevity. But the first game actually that they covered in E3 was Fallout 76. It's going to be the next game after Fallout 4. Obviously, it's just a different vault. It's going to be, interestingly, this is something that a lot of people aren't happy about, is it's going to be online only.
Boo.
Yes, it's another game that is transitioning to online only, which is curious because the first Fallout series was always a single player game, very RPG aspects, and they got a lot of flack when Fallout 4 came out for going away from that. And it appears they are continuing to do that. And that's going to be the route of the Fallout series now. So I'm sure a large amount of the Fallout community who was hoping it may have gone back the other way, it's not.
Here's what I think. I got a theory about this. So why this is a multiplayer online.
Why?
All right. So this is what I think. So Fallout 4, I believe, was supposed to have a multiplayer or some kind of multiplayer, and that was supposed to be in development. So what I think they did was realize that we're not going to make this deadline, so let's push this off. So what they did was essentially finish off the online multiplayer and then called it Fallout 76.
I could see that because the game has the same look. Most of the same systems are in place. They have upgraded, changed some of them.
Because it's also only been like, when did Fallout 4 come out? Like 2 years ago? Something like
not that long ago. So yeah, that does make sense.
It's very soon after Fallout 4, and the difference between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 was like 5 years, for a long time. So to have another Fallout game this close, just kind of, I don't want to say cash grab, but it kind of feels like it might be one. I don't know. I'm still gonna probably play it, but
it has that feel to it, though. It's like they're like, well, we could release it with this game, and maybe not make our deadline and have the bugginess that goes along with multiplayer, or we could just wait and then release basically the same game with the online play. They did change. The biggest thing I noticed they changed in this was the base building, which was one of the most annoying parts I felt in Fallout 4. You would get a lot of I had so many settlements, and all the time you get little warnings going, you need to go protect your settlement. It's under attack. And it's like, I don't want to play the settlement game. I want to go continue the quest line.
Yeah, and I heard that this one, I don't know if this is true. So Fallout 76, it does have a single player mode, but I heard there's not very many NPCs. Like, there's not a lot of story there. It's mostly just fighting monsters with your friends. So I don't know. I kind of like the whole NPC storyline aspect of the Fallout games. That's what makes the Fallout games the Fallout games. So
that's what I felt like. It's like they're using the title Fallout, and it's not a Fallout game anymore.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
They said there's going to be a bunch of servers available for numerous players at the beginning where you can log on. You don't have to have your own. Apparently, though, will have your own one base you build. You can build it with friends. You can nuke other people's bases, too, and destroy them. So there is a player versus player aspect possibility on a lot of these servers. I don't think you can raid their things and attack things. I'm not sure on that, but I do know that there's going to be nuclear silos located on the map that you can actually activate that will destroy parts of that world. And it can be a player's base if they decide to set up where you decided to nuke, or vice versa.
So I wonder what's the advantage of that. I mean, if you don't get their stuff, just to be a dick. I don't know.
You could, or you're just nuking some area. I'm not sure. It's like they just here's another aspect to just screw with people or destroy your own this world. I think that's going to be down to server versus server.
Yeah. I think
which to me does offer interesting opportunities, because anybody who plays TF2, any online game with servers, the possibilities that offers is always neat. A game within a game,
Yeah, I wonder if it'll keep going if you're offline. You know what I mean? Like, you'll build your base.
That's another question.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I remember reading that it says basically it's your base and it follows you. So if you're online and you log onto a server, I think it loads up in the world.
Yeah, okay.
versus so that when you log off, it's not there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There
If
should
you
be
log on to a new server, it would bring it's like your own personal save that you're plugging into the world.
right. Yeah. I'll probably still play it and give it a shot. It does have some interesting. I mean, it is a Fallout game, so it should be pretty good. Maybe I don't
I'm
know.
hesitant. I want more info.
Yeah.
And it launches in November 14th. So we still have at least 4 months of more news and content to come out, which will sway me one way or the other.
Yeah, interested to see some actual gameplay and figure out how the gameplay actually works. So, I don't know.
Because I wasn't a real big fan of Fallout 4 either. I know a lot of people were. It just felt like I was playing Skyrim with guns. To a degree, it really felt like that to me.
Yeah.
With a button I could push that could instant kill something. I was like, I'd just go play Skyrim.
Yeah, I don't know. I never played Fallout 4. I'm actually just started playing Fallout 3 again for the second or third or fourth time. I don't know. So, we'll see.
Yes. Other things they announced. Doom Eternal was announced. Not much more than just a trailer announcing that it's in the works. They said there's going to be more info at QuakeCon in August. They are also announced Elder Blade Scrolls. I thought this was kind of interesting. It's a mobile game they're releasing that looks like you're playing kind of like Skyrim, but on your phone. And they even went so far to make sure you have single hand control, so you can play the game with one hand and have the other free. There was a joke, obviously, about why would you need one hand free? To hold your drink, have a snack, of course. But not only is it going to be, it's releasing in fall. It's going to be free to play on mobile, but they are also planning on bringing it to consoles, PC, and VR.
I wonder if it'll come on the go. I mean, if it's a mobile game, it'd be smart to put it on the go, Oculus Go. So,
I'm curious. I was just surprised when they said that we'll be bringing it to consoles, PC, and VR. I'm like, well, it's a mobile game. What does that mean technically? I mean, does it mean like Fortnite is on all things, where you could also be playing that same game on the PC that somebody's playing on their mobile?
Yeah, it's usually the other way around. It's usually the other way around though. Like the PC game comes out first, and then they do the mobile port. But it seems to be like I guess they're going to do the mobile game first, and then do the port to the PC or VR or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm just curious about that one.
Yeah, I don't know how mobile is going to go for an Elder Scrolls game. I don't know. I don't play a lot of mobile stuff, so it might be good.
Yeah. Avalanche Studios announced another game, Rage 2. It's kind of got your Mad Max kind of but more futuristic feel. It's supposed to launch 2019, PS4, Xbox, and PC.
Did you ever play Mad Max, the game on Steam?
I did not.
It wasn't a bad game. It got bad reviews, but I enjoyed it.
I never played the Rage game.
I didn't either. I think I might have actually bought it and just never played it. I know that sounds horrible, but...
Well, no, it happens.
Yeah.
Especially if you have, Green Man Gaming or something like that, where you get just games.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein Youngblood was announced. It's a spin-off of the Wolfenstein series set in Paris in 1980s.
Yeah, the 80s.
And it will be co-op with 1 to 2 players.
Nice. I kind of like that. I wonder if it's going to be split screen.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Who knows? Maybe. It's just announced. Their game Prey Moon Crash is going to have some new DLC available. It's supposed to be set on the moon with some new story modes. New story mode, not multiple. New game plus mode. They're planning on adding a survival mode. That's all supposed to be coming out with the DLC. It is available. That came out with E3, and they also in the future plan on moving that to VR.
Did you ever play the first Prey?
I didn't. I remember seeing previews for it, but then I kind of forgot about it, and then this was first. I was like, oh, I remember hearing about that game and thinking that would be really cool, but then lost track of it.
Yeah, it came out. The first one came out a long time ago, I think. Back when we used to work at GameStop. What was that 2004, 5, 6, maybe? I don't know. It was maybe I'm not thinking about the same game. I'm pretty sure it's the same game. Maybe this is a different.
2007. This one came out in 2017.
Yeah, maybe this is a different one. No, it was a CryEngine. I don't know. Maybe I have to look it up and see what game I'm talking about.
Yeah, something's off here.
Probably
Moving on.
2006. Yes, 2006 is when it came out.
If anybody has played the Fallout Shelter game on the mobile, they are releasing it on the PS4 and Switch. Just like you're talking, here's one that is going from mobile to other devices.
Oh yeah, going to console. Yeah.
They did announce Elder Scrolls 6. It's in pre-production, and that's about it. They just say it's going to be a next generation game. Like it's going to be good.
That's all they said. No trailer or anything?
Just a brief trailer. Nothing. That doesn't tell you anything.
All right, something I can spend 20,000 more hours on.
Yeah. Oh, we got some more Elder Scrolls stuff for you.
God, so much.
I know you've been looking forward to this. Elder Scrolls Legend has been announced for the PS4, Xbox, and Switch, and it's just what you've been looking for. It's a card game.
Oh, I can't do the card games, man.
Oh, really? There's been some good ones along the way I like. Sometimes I didn't care for Hearthstone, but it's been hit or miss. There's a definitely different type of card games out there. Some of them I enjoy, some of them I have not as much.
Yeah, I think I got a small attention span, and I don't like this turn-based game. I don't know. I gotta have instant gratification all the time.
I understand.
Maybe not that bad. Yeah.
More Elder Scrolls. The online version will be getting 2 more DLCs this year, and they plan on putting out more content in 2019. So that game will continue onward.
Dang, I didn't know people still played that.
Apparently.
Yeah, I guess. Came out in 2014. Yeah. Huh. Cool.
Yeah. And their other thing they announced, kind of along the lines of Elder Scrolls 6, was Starfield was announced, and it is supposed to be a next generation game. They like stressing that. It's going to be all that was announced basically is a sci-fi single player RPG.
I could get on board with that.
But it's gonna be something good according to them. So we'll just have to wait and see again. They're just like putting these things out here like teasers. Like it's like they have a whole cup of the sweetest liquid on the earth to drink, and they just give you a drop at a time.
Yeah,
like, and here's a drop. You gotta wait in 3 months. Here's another drop.
And then next E3 they'll actually put a trailer out, a full trailer, and then you gotta wait another year before the game to come out.
Yeah, then you get like a Dixie cup worth. It's like, oh, got a little quick shot of that. Oh, that was good. I can't wait.
Yep.
So by the time it comes out, you're hopelessly addicted before the game even released.
And then you get the game and it's a giant disappointment.
Yes. The liquid just didn't taste as good as you thought.
Yeah.
But that was about it for Bethesda. The main focus was the Fallout 76 with kind of just, and then the Elder Scrolls Blades was just dropping a little bit of tidbits about stuff they're working on.
Elder Scrolls Blades. I don't know if I like that name or not. Blades.
Blades is a little. I was a little.
It's a little corny, I guess. I don't know.
I got the same feeling.
Yeah, I guess it is a mobile game, so I guess Blades is appropriate. It sounds like one of those mobile games.
We'll touch on Ubisoft next before we get to, I know, a game you want to talk about for PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
They're got Division 2 will be released March 15th, 2019 on PC, Xbox, and PS4. You can register for beta now. So if you like that game, go check that out. Get yourself registered. So when the beta opens, you got a chance of getting in to play it. The game will apparently feature raids with up to 8 players, and they plan for 3 DLCs in the first year of the game, so more content, and they plan all those 3 DLCs to be free as well, so no season passes or anything like that.
Nice. I like that.
Yes. That's always a selling point for me. It's like, well, you're going to put more content out. Am I going to have to pay for it?
Yeah.
I never liked the season passes. I think Borderlands was the first one. Borderlands 2, I think, was one of the first ones I experienced this season pass thing. Where it's like, well, we'll keep putting content out for it, but you're going to have to pay for it with this nice little pass. And it's like, I'm not subscribing to like Netflix here. That's not what this game, I don't like that concept.
Yeah. I can deal with it a little bit, but some studios take it way too far. Like I think the new Call of Duty game, I could be wrong, but you buy the game for $60 and you get like 4 maps, or you can get the game and then you
The
got to pay
Elite
60.
Gold Fancy
Yeah,
Edition with
for
trim.
for $100, and that's the one that everyone plays because that's got like all 15 maps and it's special guns, and it's like God, it's $100 now for this game. Like it's a little out of control, and people will pay it, of course, and I would probably too, but it's annoying. Just give me the
Yeah.
game. I want to pay my $60 and I want to have the full game. And then if you put out maybe $20 worth of extra content, maybe 2 years from now, I'll probably get on board with that. But like every couple months, like having to pay money to get an extra map or play more of the game, I don't like that.
I've had a hard time paying full price for games ever since I've gotten Steam too.
Yeah, I
Green
agree.
Man Gaming, all the things out there where you can constantly get stuff so much cheaper.
Yeah. Speaking of cheaper, Steam Summer Sale going on right now. Not a sponsor, just an awesome time to buy games.
That really felt like a sponsor drop. I'm sorry, but that was good.
It was.
Speaking of, yeah. So let's see. Another one they announced was Trials Rising. Another one is available for beta registration right now. That will launch 2019 on the PC, Xbox, PS4, and Switch. They have
a motorcycle game.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Didn't elicit a lot of interest in me, but I definitely want to talk about it. At least tell people it's available if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thoughts. I'm not big on the racing games. Yeah. Their probably biggest one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, was announced. It's going to release October 5th. It is set in Greece. It's set in Greece.
Where the hell is Greece at?
I know. But basically, the setting is Athens and Sparta are fighting control of the country. You get to play a mercenary, and you kind of choose sides. It's going to feature interactive dialogues, which means basically as you go through the story, you'll meet people, go on quests for them, which will basically choose your side. I say basically way too much. You choose your side, and then that would be your story from there. And it's a kind of open world, and you can run into other mercenaries that don't like you, and it's basically you're gaining fame fighting for either side in Greece. Apparently there's romances too, if you like that type of thing.
Oh,
like
nice.
Good old digital romance.
Can't go wrong with that. I did not know they were still making Assassin's Creed games.
Yes.
It seems like they put one out like every 6 months. I mean, it's probably not that often, but there's like 100 of them now, isn't there?
103, I believe, if you want to get technical.
Of course.
I don't know that. But no, I have that feeling. I never really played them. That style play isn't as style of gameplay I don't care for as much.
Yeah.
So but yeah, they did seem like they put them out dime a dozen.
There was
just
even
moving the setting. It's like, okay, we'll do Greece here. They've maybe done,
There was even a movie. I don't think it did too well.
I think the one before this, they were pirates. And I think that's what the movie was based on.
Maybe. I don't know. I wish I knew more about the game.
I saw the movie. It was weird. It was like the guy would link up to his past self. So like it was like he would go into like a virtual reality situation, but he was controlling himself in the past. It was different.
Yeah.
I don't remember it much, but I just remember being like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ubisoft's For Honor received its biggest update since launch, called Marching Fire. That's adding a new faction and new PvP mode that will launch October 16th. If you're not sure what that is, that's like the medieval player versus player combat game. Like samurai and stuff like that.
I'm just looking at it right now. It looks interesting. I don't know.
I played the beta for it. It wasn't too bad. You can like push people off the map too. That was some of the funnest.
Oh, that's the best. When you can, anytime you have the opportunity to push someone off the map, kick them off the map, or blow them off the map with a flamethrower, it's going to be a good time.
The ones I played, it was like control point based. You were like the heroes of your army, and so you had a bunch of like weaker units that were fighting with you that you would help. Like they would engage the enemy on themselves, but really the heroes were needed to push for either side.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple things. Rainbow Six Siege, they're doing a documentary on it. Apparently, that game is really big in Russia. In the esports world, they're talking about doing They're doing a documentary on it. This title, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle Donkey Kong Adventure, comes out June 26th.
Wait, that's the full title of the game?
That is the full title. I believe Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is the game, but they're adding in an adventure for Donkey Kong. So the total thing is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle Donkey Kong Adventure.
Is this the Raving Rabbits plus Donkey Kong? Probably.
Yes, I
Yes,
think so.
that's what it looks like. I don't know. It could be fun.
And it looks like Ubisoft's version of Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones, will launch 2019 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah. So speaking of Sea of Thieves, I know we talked about that last time. I was either listening or reading something, and apparently that game is just like an empty sea. Like not a lot of people play it. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, it's just kind of like you'll sail around for hours and not see anybody.
That's the problem with some of those games I've found is it requires a certain amount of people to play it, and if you can't populate it, it takes away from the entire gameplay feel.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be cool if you run into somebody, it's like you're middle attacking somebody, and then somebody attacks you at the same time. Like, that'd be intense, but some of those games, it's like it may launch, and people try it, and like, this is cool, but if it doesn't keep their attention, then it depopulates, and like you said, it's just an empty sea.
Yeah, the player base drops off quickly.
But Skull and Bones 2019. Get registered for beta now. That's from Ubisoft. We'll get to now. We'll fire up some PlayStation stuff. The main one you want to talk about. I'll let you take over here for The Last of Us Part 2.
We could both talk about it. So yeah, The Last of Us is going to be amazing. Well,
The Last of Us was the first game. The Last of Us Part 2 is the new one.
Yeah. The Last of Us was the first game, which was awesome. Yeah, just I don't know what else to say. It was an awesome game. And they announced, essentially, Naughty Dog announced that The Last of Us Part 2 is finally coming out, which is another good news. Go see the trailer. There's gameplay, and there's two girls kissing. It's a good trailer. So this takes place several years after, obviously, The Last of Us, when Ellie is essentially a little bit older. So the trailer starts, her and her love interest do their thing, and then it cuts to a cutscene, and she's just turns into this complete badass. So it looks really cool. They've also confirmed that there will be a similar type multiplayer, kind of like what they did with the first one, the factions mode, where you can kind of have factions and fight for supplies and do your whole thing. But the trailer looked amazing. I mean, it was visually stunning. I couldn't tell the difference between cutscenes and gameplay. It might have been the same in the actual video, but it was so seamless that it looked amazing. I don't know. Did you watch the trailer?
I have not. I'm going to have to go watch it now, apparently, because there's two girls kissing at the beginning.
I mean, that's only half the cool part. Like it looks good. I cannot wait for this game to come out. I'm probably going to buy a PlayStation 4 just for it.
That means that this is still like keeping it PS4 exclusive.
Yeah, the first one was. I looked to see if I could get it on the PC, and of course, there's PS3 emulators that you can get, but it doesn't work as good. So yeah, I think it's PS4 exclusive. I wish it wouldn't be, but I'm sure it will stay that way. So I'm gonna have to buy a PS4 to play this game. But the storyline of the first one was, it was awesome. It was enough action, but enough storyline to go with it that kept you interested the whole time. I remember just like waiting to come home from work just so I could play the game again. So
nice.
Yeah, this one's going to
really
be
got you.
Yeah, and it looks like this one's the same, but maybe a little bit more action. It's got a good balance between action and sneaking and story, and it's cool. I recommend it. What else we got?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just a few other things just to cover real quick. We're kind of running out of a bit of time. I don't know if this is correct how I pronounce it. It's Daracine, Daracine. It's going to be a story-driven VR exclusive game sometime in 2018 where you play a spirit summoned by a young girl in a boarding school, but nobody knows you're there. So you exist at this boarding school, and the goal is to prove your existence by interacting it with the students in some way.
So kind of like the Sixth Sense, maybe.
Yeah, like you're just there, and you gotta do something to get. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah,
Fun for VR, I guess.
Control was announced. It's going to be a supernatural third-person action-adventure game that will launch 2019 PC, PS4, and Xbox. We have Trevor Saves the Universe. It is from the creators of Rick and Morty. They are releasing. It's going to be looks like an action-adventure platform, or coming sometime in 2019 on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation VR. So if anybody likes Rick and Morty, you're going to have a Rick and Morty game.
Oh, have you seen the screenshots of this?
Yes, I watched the trailer for it as well.
Yeah,
it's like there's gameplay for it.
Looks outrageous.
Yes, so if you're a fan of the Rick and Morty universe comic/TV show, this just may be the game for you.
Yeah, I'm going to get it because Rick and Morty is in it. If you haven't seen that cartoon, you should go see it. It's really good.
God of War will have a new game mode, and PS Plus members will be able to get Black Ops 3 for free. Then, God of War was New Game Plus mode. Apparently, a lot of people who play the game have been wanting that, so they are giving it to them. So you'll get. Basically means once you beat the game for God of War, you can start back over with most of your equipment and stuff.
Oh, okay.
New Game Plus mode. It's like starting the game again, but you're more powerful.
Gotcha. Do you get to? Is the game harder? I mean, that makes sense, right?
I think it's easier because you got more stuff.
Well, they should scale the game difficulty.
I think they do to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one, Coffee Stain Studios showed a game called Satisfactory. If you've ever played, talking about a brain shutdown. There's another factory game on the PC game. It just had a different name.
I don't know.
Factorio. There you go. It looks a lot like Factorio, except it is a open world survivor building game in the first person view, where you land on a planet and you basically have to go around, collect resources, and you start small. Like you just make a smeltery. Then you use your smeltery to get iron ore that lets you build a conveyor belt system, and then you build an auto miner, and then your auto miner conveys your stuff to a auto smelter. Then your auto, and it just builds and builds and builds, and you basically just create this gigantic factory. There are alien factions and stuff that can attack you, but from what I've seen of these games, it's more based on the building than actual combat against the enemy.
It sounds like a mix between Minecraft and SimCity.
Yeah, and if you played Factorio, I have a couple buddies who love that game. They are super pumped for this one, so they'll have to keep an eye on that. Overcooked 2 is coming in August for the Switch, PC, Xbox, and PS4. If you haven't played it, it is a great game. Super simplistic. You're just a bunch of guys in a top-down view cooking as a team. Team is very little words, because there's like you have a pickup button, an action button, a sprint button, and a cuss button, because that's what you need when your friends, you got a nice hamburger to deliver to your customers, and they charge you and knock you off your ice thing and into the water, and you got to start from scratch. And don't ask me why there's ice and water in your kitchen, but this is the type of thing you have to deal with. But it's a great game.
I think you played this before.
Many times. It is an extremely simplistic game, but the amount of fun we've gotten out of it has been very large.
Yeah, this seems like the grab a couple of beers with your friends and play this game kind of game.
We've even had our parents come over and we make our parents play it. And they can play it. It's just hilarious, because it's like, I have the meat. Why can't I put the meat on the bun? It's like, because you didn't cook it. Oh. Since it's a time-paced game, you have to do so many deliveries and stuff, and it gets hectic, and there's all kinds of, there's moving ice flows, there's lava stages, there's all kind of crazy mechanics they throw at you just to make it more interesting. But
yeah, it sounds fun.
It's super fun. I think the first one's been out for a while. They came out and they're doing the second one in August for pretty much all the systems. The big one Nintendo released or talked about, of course, that everybody's been waiting for is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And it's going to have over 60 characters. And I think they're trying to put every character from every Smash Brothers ever into the game.
That's a lot of characters.
Yes, and I think that's some of the thing that the developer is talking about, the difficulty. It's the same developer or the same guy that head developer for the game that's been working on this series since very early on. So, and he's like, it's very hard to balance 60 characters. And
Yeah, that's
especially the rabid following that Smash Brothers has. So that will launch in December, and it will have GameCube controller support.
how is that going to work? I guess I don't have a Switch, so can you plug a GameCube controller into the Switch?
I'm not sure because I don't have a Switch.
Yeah, via like some kind of adapter.
I'm assuming, but they want to be able to do a GameCube controller support for all them rabid fans of Smash Brothers.
So yes, there's like this adapter you buy, and you're able to plug that into the Switch, and then you plug your GameCube controllers into the. Oh wait, that's for the Wii U. I don't know. Maybe the one for the Wii U also works with the Switch. I don't know. I'm behind on my Nintendo.
Same.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
a couple other
Nintendo
things.
Switch
Oh,
now
sorry.
supports GameCube controllers. Yeah, so it looks like the Wii U adapter that supports the GameCube controllers actually works with the Switch now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just that's all pretty much for the PlayStation. Nintendo didn't have a lot.
And Nintendo, you mean?
And Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple other things that were covered, and we'll wrap this up. Final Fantasy XIV Online and Monster Hunter World will have a collaboration sometime this summer. Don't know any details. They just had a little trailer showing both game characters from both game interacting with each other. So there's going to be some sort of crossover between the two. Dragon Quest XI was announced. They have released, there's two different editions. There's Edition of Light, Edition of Lost Time. One's a more expensive version where you get, like the soundtrack and stuff like that. The game will launch on PS4 and PC September 4th, and North America and Europe. There is going to be an open world survival game called Scum on Steam in early access in August. Just what we needed, another one.
I know, more early access Steam games.
Open world survival, yeah.
Yeah.
Hitman 2 will launch November 13th, PC, PS4, Xbox. Dead or Alive 6 will launch early 2019, PC, PS4, and Xbox. And Soul Calibur 6 will launch October 19th.
Soul Calibur.
And the last one I want to land on that I'm excited for virtual reality games is Tetris Effect. That will launch in fall. And yes, it is Tetris in VR, and it looks amazing. If you like Tetris,
could be pretty cool.
I recommend watching the trailer. It's the base. I like the name because I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't looked it up, but the term Tetris Effect, they said, came from a study done back when Tetris first came out with memory patients. I think Alzheimer's, which they don't remember anything. So basically people who played the game said when they would go to sleep, they would have visions of blocks, basically.
There you go again.
I know. Driving myself crazy with that right now. And crap, lost my train of thought. Yeah, so when you would sleep, you would see visions of blocks, and they did this with the test group, and then they did it also with the Alzheimer's patients, which can't do memories. They had the same thing. When they would sleep, they would have visions of blocks, but they had no memory of playing the game at all, which they called the Tetris Effect. But the game in the VR looks awesome, and in the game, you're going to be playing Tetris, and it's got like a very space feel with like light shows, and it's going to have with the music going on, and the faster as you level up, not only do the visual effects get bigger, better, more fantastic, but the music speeds up everything. So you're going to be in a virtual reality setting, completely immersive, and it just as it goes, it's just going to get more and more intense with more light shows, faster music, and I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It's got like that retro space effect kind of feel to the the whole game. I don't know. It looks cool. I'm all for it. If it's in VR and it's a retro game, they can make better. Can you play this? Yeah, you can play this just on the PS4 too. You don't have to play it on the VR.
Yes, it should be coming out for both.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what VR adds to Tetris. I mean, it is just a flat screen with blocks that fall down. So
go watch the trailer.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
You'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't believe they're still making Soul Calibur games
or Dead or Alive ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had for today. I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, I think that wraps up all of E3. I think the last 3 episodes we've covered pretty much everything that's come out. So super excited about a couple games. A couple games don't look that good, but give them a shot maybe.
Yeah, not gonna point any fingers.
Yeah. But yeah, The Last of Us Part 2 gonna be awesome. That's what I'm super excited about. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up today, and I will play some outro music. Let's pick something that we haven't listened. Oh well, I don't know. We have.
All
right, we're just gonna play the intro music again. All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Tech Stuffing, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and all the social medias. Just look us up. Other than that, have a good day, night, morning, whatever time it is you're listening to this, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.